It's time for another A-plus mock draft here in the Sportsocracy with at ESPN draft nerd Jeremy Green. Denver Broncos. What kind of needs this team got?
Well, you're going to have to be careful because you don't pick until the late 60s. So, I mean, yeah, I would like to have a developmental offensive tackle. I'm going to get you one of those, and it's one of my favorite players in this draft. It's just going to take a minute. I want to shore up the edges, which is what I'm going to do to start, and I'd like to add a linebacker at some point, maybe a running back to go with Javonte Williams. And, yes, I know that you already added one of those. I would like one that can actually run between the tackles.
All right, let's kickstart the pass rush for the Denver Broncos here at the 67th pick. They got back-to-back picks here at 67 and 68. At 67, Keon White, linebacker from Georgia Tech.
I am in like with this kid. I'm not in love. It depends on the fit. And for me, he fits perfectly with the Denver Broncos because he's a 3-4 defensive end. I've heard people talk about standing him up. Don't do that. You will not like how that goes. I mean, he's 285 pounds. He kind of reminds Lance Zierlein for NFL.com put this out. He kind of reminds me of John Franklin Myers when he came out of Tennessee. He was drafted by the Rams, wound up with the Jets, and then just signed a decent extension. Mm-hmm. He can do practically anything on the line. Where my fear with him is that a team's going to draft him and go, oh, he's so athletic that we should stand him up and make him a real edge rusher because he is a good pass rusher. And he'll be out of the league in 3 years. That's my fear. Now, he goes to a smart coach here with Sean Payton, and I feel like he could turn into a very disruptive force in this specialized role. That's my biggest issue with him, is how is he used. If you use him right, great pick, and he shouldn't be here at 67. Use him wrong, and you'll regret that you ever put him in your building.
All right, the following pick at 68, let's go to the other side of the defensive line, the other 3-4 edge spot.
This is
Jomo.
He's not an edge to me. He's not an edge to me.
I meant defensive end.
He's
Are you
not
going to
an
play
end.
him in the middle?
I'm going to play him in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Now, he's going to have to add some bulk, but he's got nose tackle strength right now. 300 pounds is a little light for a nose tackle. Not that light. I need him to bulk up a little bit in terms of just sheer size. This is also a kid that I don't think we've even scratched the surface of how good he can be because he may be the most naturally strong guy in this class. He only did 29 reps of the bench press. Only did 29. Try to lift 225 pounds and tell me that 29 is an only, but that's something that somebody said to me the last time I talked about this kid. He is strong enough to play nose tackle right now. I just think he needs to add some bulk to the frame and really round off the technique. I mean, he's still really learning the game.
So he needs a Nick Saldiveri type buffet buster moment.
Oh, yeah. This kid needs
to push him over 3 bills.
Just eat everything in sight. And I think if you
hopefully
do that,
he won't go to the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. His bill with the Cardinals would be really high. I just think you're going to have to be a little patient with him. A lot of people see him as an end, a 3-4 end. I think his feet are too heavy for that. I'm looking at what he's put on tape and projecting a little bit because he is a bit of a tweener, but I think I could turn him into a nose tackle.
In the 4th round, 108 overall, Sean Tucker, the running back out of Syracuse.
Very productive in college. I can tell you he's part of a rotation in the NFL. He's an early down back. I don't think he's going to give you much as a receiver, but you have Javonte Williams for that. This is the complement to Samaje Perine because he is not going to give you the receiving things. But by God, you run in between the tackles. And he does – I'm not sure he doesn't do more with less because, I mean, if the kid walked up to you, you would look at him and go, you're a football player, really. I mean, next to me, he would look like a small child. He's 5'9", 207. But then you see him with a football in his hand. And just think about how much Syracuse put on him. It's a niche fit, for sure. And if you expect him to be a 3-down back, you're going to be disappointed. But you put him in a situation like this, and I think you will be very happy with the return on a 4th-round pick.
In the 5th round, 139, Ventrell Miller, linebacker from Florida.
And this is a guy that I know definitively they have interest in because they were all over him at his pro day. 6 foot 232, linebacker out of Florida. I don't know that he'll ever be a 3-down linebacker. The athleticism's just not there. But I think he can be a very solid against the run. He plays with really good aggression. The only thing that bothers me is that his tape got a little worse as time went on because he was so aggressive early that he would overrun plays. And now it's almost like he thinks about things too much before he does it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a snap slow to react. But when he does, when the reaction time is high, this would be a great value because I think he's one of the, if that's what you're looking for, I think he's one of the best linebackers in this class. It's just you're going to have to know you're going to need that hyper-athletic coverage linebacker to spell him on third down.
All right, and now the moment Flostradamus has been waiting for in the 6th round at 195 overall. It's the tackle out of Northern Michigan, Jake Witt. I
love this kid so much. He was a 265-pound tight end. He's 6'7", 304 now, I think. I know he's 3-0 something. Ran a sub 4.8 40 at his pro day.
Mm-hmm.
Is freakishly athletic and doesn't even really know what he's doing yet. Hasn't played tackle for very long at all, and the reason he played tackle is because they were in a playoff game against Ferris State. And Caleb Murphy, who was basically the Butkus Award winner for D2, he had 4 sacks in the first half because he was just dragging the right tackle down the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Halftime, coach goes, fuck this. In goes Jake Witt. Did not touch the quarterback again. Not just no sacks, no hurries, no pressures, no nothing. And that's a kid that doesn't even really know what he's doing yet.
Mm-hmm.
When I say raw, I should start saying Jake Witt from now on because A, you played at a very low level of competition. B, you don't really know what you're doing at this position yet because it's still very new. How many people you ever seen in your life that are 6'7", 305 pounds and can run I think it was a 4.78 was what I was told.
Probably 0.
Yeah, there's not many. So if I'm going to miss, I'm going to miss on a guy like this. And you give him to Sean Payton and just watch this kid turn into a stud 3 years from now. Super project. But the high side is intoxicating. He's just naturally good at everything he's ever done. He was also the valedictorian of his high school.
So just
I don't know
great story.
I don't see that very often when I start doing my legwork on guys. He was.
Wow.
He's really bright. He's a really hard worker. And every person he's ever come in contact with has just loved him.
All right, Sean Payton now in town for the Denver Broncos. He'll be making all of these picks.
No doubt.
We don't know what the status of George Payton is at the moment.
He's got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel. No big deal.
Right. But Sean Payton's here to take care of this team. Limited draft capital with the 1st and 2nd round picks being gone in the Russell Wilson trade. But
I love what you've done in the offseason, adding Mike McGlinchey, really shoring up the line. Now it all falls on Russell Wilson. If he's a disaster again, you're going to be looking for a quarterback in a year. These are pieces that, yes, they're developmental, but they could all pay off in just droves down the line. Oh, if you like these picks, I forgot I have to say this too. If you like these picks, if you hate these picks, feel free to comment that in the comments. If you just want to call me a big mulleted dipshit, you can do that as well. Throw those out there. We'll have one more 7-round mock draft for every team coming out next week, and that is my projection for how the 2023 NFL Draft goes. There will be no repeat players. This is not best case scenario. This is how I think it goes. Now that the visits are done, I know everybody you've had in your building, and we're going to start filling the holes. It's a 2-day experience, and the next 7 days are going to be a bit of a bitch.
A-plus mock draft for the Denver Broncos in the books. Be sure to like the video, share it with your friends as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us for our live shows Monday through Friday, and, of course, live on draft night. All of them.
Every pick. 3 days. And we're taking over a bar.
Yeah, it's going to be super
for the
fun.
first 2 rounds, which means Tank might drink so many beers that he has to be taken to the hospital because that number's way lower than you think.
That's right. That's right. We will see you on draft night here in the Sportsocracy.